Hi, you have reached the Art of Memories. Please leave a message after the tone.
Yeah, yeah, me plus you. I'ma tell you one time. You know what? First of all, yes, my braids are still in. Yes, they are expired. Yes. I answer these questions like someone has actually said something. Like, no one has said anything to me, but I just feel like I have to clarify that because I know people are thinking this type, but like, sorry. I have a plan. Like, I have something happening on Monday for my hair. Like, things are in the works. But let me answer some questions of comments that I got. I know there's allegations, but no, I'm not wearing makeup. in case in case some of you are wondering, no, I am not wearing makeup. Scratch. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Monica Anthony, and welcome back to the Art of Memories on this fine Thursday. I told you guys I'd record this week. I told you guys. I am on this. I think this is like my third time from trying to be consistent in terms of like being online, and like this time it's gonna stick. It's gonna stay, and I know it's gonna stick this time because I actually made the Instagram account for the podcast. So last time when I first started, I didn't make an account. I just like posted on YouTube and Spotify, and then I stopped for a bit, and then I think I recorded maybe like one or two. I only have a few up, and then I continued, and then I kind of posted on this like abandoned spam. I'm sorry again. Like if you requested to follow that spam, like it's gonna be denied. It's gonna be denied. There's too much in there that I just, if you already follow it, good for you. But like if you don't, I'm so sorry. Like there's just too much in there that I have to hide. But what was I saying? So yeah, then the last time I kind of posted on like that spam a little bit. I think I like maybe put stuff on like my Snapchat or something. Then I stopped. I went on like, just the summer happened, busy. I wasn't really thinking about it, but like September, October, I was like, no, let's get back into it. So making this Instagram account for the Art of Memories. If you don't follow that yet, please go and follow. Also subscribe to my shit, bro. Subscribe, please. It would do me so much love. Just subscribe. Like if you're already on here, like you might as well. You can even mute it if you don't want to see if you don't want to see anything, but like it'd be appreciated. So go follow me on Spotify, The Art of Memories. Follow, subscribe on YouTube, and if you don't, follow the Instagram account. And we're gonna blow it up. We're gonna get big. This is gonna be a consistent thing. But thank you. Welcome back to this episode. This is episode 2, and we're going back into the segment of the After School Special. I really think like this is something that can keep up, and it could get entertaining. Like I've already have like a list of like the next like 5, 6, 7 episodes, like what those topics will be. So I'm already kind of set up, but I know I'll think of more as more time will come. But this is what it is. So I'm on TikTok as well. That I do post like my podcast videos on there as well, but that is mostly just like stupid random content. But I'm trying to be consistent on all platforms, bro. I'm a busy gal. Like got YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Instagram, everything. So yes, follow me on there as well at Monty Anthony X, and follow my regular Instagram account if you want to do that. Might as well. But yes, the topic today for the after school special is we're going to talk about grades. Grades. Because everybody got to get good grades. You know, I know our parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, everyone, also depending on your cultural background as well. Some students have more pressure to do better in school than others. Totally get that. Let me just check that this is recording. It is recording. But yeah, depending on the cultural background, everyone has different expectations. But in high school specifically, it's a whole new ballgame because you went from elementary school, right? In elementary school, a pass is a pass. They're shuffling everybody in. Get grade 1, 2 pass, 5, 6 pass. Well, guys, do you guys remember EQAO? Like Ontario people, or I don't know if it's Canada. I think I think it's just on the province. But if you remember EQAO, that was serious business. Do they even still do that nowadays? No. This is why I can't. Let me put it on. I feel like they don't, but I think that would be also very interesting if they still did as well. But if any of my teacher friends know, please let me know if they still do EQAO. But yeah, so you're in elementary school and you're doing your grades and you got classes and stuff, but then high school. And you remember in elementary school, they used to, no, that was high school. I used to say that. Never mind. But in grade 9, it hits a point where, like, you actually, I don't know how to describe the difference. Elementary is just like, it reminds me of just like hanging out. Like, I wasn't really too pressed about anything in terms of grade wise in elementary school, but high school, especially grade 9, it's very intimidating because you're coming from one public school to combining with a bunch of others in the area. And you're meeting new people, and so obviously, like, you kind of want to do well and keep a reputation. You don't want to be known as that person in high school who's like not smart. You don't even need to be smart, but just you don't want to be caught lagging. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't want to be caught lagging. So I remember in grade 9, that hit me like a truck. Specifically, just like the how do I call it? Like the standards, or like what was required. I just feel like at least my elementary school didn't prepare me for that. I feel like it went from like la-di-dee, la-di-doo, you know, you did good, you did bad, and then grade 9 was like, no, you might have to retake this course if you do not pass. And also, they're a lot less attentive in high school as well, which was like, again, a big shocker. Teachers in elementary school and some again in high school. This is the art of memories. These are my experience. You guys know that these are my stories, this is my memories. So every experience is different, but this is just mine. But elementary school, they used to sit down. I had this one teacher. He was so attentive to my needs. Like, he would sit next to me. He'd be like, do you understand? If it took, and obviously he's still paying attention to the rest of the kids in the class, but like, he knew I was struggling and he made sure he wanted to see me succeed. High school, good luck truck. Like, there was none of that. I don't even remember what. And that's another thing. Like, I don't even remember who a lot of my high school teachers were for certain classes because they didn't really make an impact on me like that. Some did. But I remember my elementary school teachers more than like my actual high school teachers. Like, that's how much I feel like they had an impact on my life. But to say the least, so yeah, grade 9, if you're on grade 9, you're watching this, just log in on the best practices now, because it only gets harder. 9, 10, 11, 12, especially 11. We'll get there. But you need to start practicing your best. Like, this isn't no games. You need to be focused. So in terms of grades, you obviously, high school is the time of figuring out what you want to do at university or what you want to do in general, college, trades. There are so many options, but nonetheless, your grades do have an impact on that. So I want to reassure you in this episode that it is okay not to be that A+ student, or like I was getting to, enrolling in those university courses, because I'm pretty sure it goes, how is it? University, there's like the middle one, I always forget, and then college. I forget what it's called. But anyways, for the most part, I did those middle level courses. That was what I was doing most of the time in high school, because I wasn't that kid. And I think it's also important to know in this episode that you need to play to your strengths in high school. Don't dim yourself down. And again, we'll get to that later. But play to your strengths in terms of like, don't try to, if you are an overachiever, go and take the highest level class in high school. If they have 3 levels of math, take the highest one. But you have to be able to keep that standard, because it'll lower your average overall. and you'll just suffer at the end of the day. You either have to retake it, take summer school. It's just, there's so many things that come with it. But also, listen to your parents. Listen to your parents. They know best. I'm telling you. As much as you think you know what's going on in high school, you don't. You don't. Listen to your parents, but don't, again, this is my experience, don't listen to your guidance counselor. They want to see you fail. And that's how I felt. Hands up. They want to see you fail. And that's how it felt like for me. There was no support. There was no guidance, as in guidance counselor. No. But they always wanted me to do just to get me by the lowest level course. Like, oh, she's struggling in math, let her do the lowest level math. And I know people in my life can speak to this, especially my mom. She knows this. I struggled, but there was not one time where when she didn't believe in me, or the people around me didn't believe in me, or I didn't believe in myself. I knew I could do better, but I was just struggling, but I needed help. And I also needed, in high school, you're still young, right? I don't have the confidence and the boost that I have nowadays, but then I just needed someone to be like, girl, you got this, lock in, you can do it. Like, if I had a guidance counselor that just believed in me and I wasn't just like another number in the school, and that's again what it felt like. It was just like, yeah, okay, routine thing. Oh, you're flunking this class. Yeah, maybe do the lower level one. You'll do better there. Like, it wasn't like, what's going on? Can you do better? Or like, what do you need extra support? Do you like there's, especially my high school, there were so many things that were set up there to help students. Like, we had this place called like the green room, and it was just, I mean, from my understanding and what it felt like, was just like a place of like teachers who were either like not teaching at the time, or just like spare, like, I guess, teachers' assistants, whoever they were. And it was just like a room, and like you could go there and like they would help you with a test, or if you needed extra time, or if you needed access to certain things. Like, it was just a resource center is what it felt like. We had so many things like that, but I feel like the guidance counselors just didn't utilize it enough or care enough to. They just didn't care. I'm telling you, man, they didn't care. Like, I'd go to him and be like, hey, like, you know, the schedule, can I switch around? Doesn't work. But like, that's the schedule. Gotta work with it. Too bad. So sad. But I need help. I need help. So at grade 10, moving on to grade 10 for me, again, it was getting my bearings. I was also doing sports and social groups. Like, you're figuring it out. At that point, I'm like, what, 14? So then it came math. Grade 10 math. If you haven't heard this story, here's the story. I was enrolled. I was enrolled in grade 10 math first semester, and I was locked in, because for me, this is how easy it is to lose me. If I'm not locked in at the beginning of the class, you've lost me the rest of the semester. So I always go into it with the mindset of that, like, I'm in there. I'm attentive. I'm listening to what I have to say. I'm listening to the lesson plan. I'm following the sheets, like all the steps. But somehow, and I don't know when, there was just a point where nothing made sense. Nothing made sense, and I was lost. And then there would be a unit test, and I would take the test, and I would flunk it. Ooh, 52. Like, it was not good numbers, but I was trying, and that was the thing with me. And that's what I'm also telling you, to try. Like, really, really try your best, because only good things will come from that. But don't get discouraged. Don't just be like, you know, I'll figure it out, or something will spark. No. You need to put your best foot forward from the jump, from grade 9, 10, 11, 12. Put your best foot forward when it comes to your grades. Take it seriously. So yeah, unit tests would come around, and I would be struggling. My mom would get me tutors. I'd be asking friends, like, and guys, I was trying, and it just wasn't enough. And so here's the infamous story my mom told me. She said, if you don't get a certain grade point in this math class, in grade 10, you will retake it. And I should have taken her seriously. And I really, really do regret that, because I continued that math class, and you thought I was locked in before. I was locked in. I was locked in. I was locked in. I was like, bro, ain't no way nobody's gonna catch me retaking this class next semester. That's embarrassment in high school. I'd be the laughing stock for the year. Not really, but this is all internal. But there's no way I was answering anyone's question about, oh, why is Monica taking math again? You were in my math class last semester. Mind your business. Mind your business. But anywho, I did end up taking it again. I didn't, and that is the worst part. I didn't fail. Mom, I didn't fail. I just didn't get the grade point average that she wanted. And she warned me that if I didn't do good enough or well enough, that I would redo it. And I didn't. I think she wanted me to get, like, it wasn't even that high. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't even that high. I think she wanted me to get like a 50. It was in the 50s. And I just didn't reach it. I think I got like a 54 or something. To me, a pass is a pass is a pass. But it just wasn't good enough. So yeah, I retook it the next semester. I did get a few inquiries about people being like, why are you in a math class again? But it was so worthwhile. And I really hope this story resonates with you, because the second time around, I did so well in math. I mean, you would think I just learned it like literally a few weeks ago, like the whole course. But I did so well the second time. I'm pretty sure I finished, okay, not so well. I think I was like going for an 80. I think I finished like a 78. But nonetheless, like to me, that was a win. That was a win. That was a win. That was a win. So yeah, take school seriously, because later on, I did do grade 10 math. So then after that, or after grade 11, sorry, I shook that a little bit. But after grade 11, or after grade 10, sorry, finished that. Moving on to grade 11. I think I did take math in grade 11, and I think I did okay, but then I dropped it. As soon as there was time to drop courses, I was dropping courses like science, math. Never see me again. Just never see me again, because I knew, one, I was going to university, and two, the course or anything, I didn't even know I was going to end up doing comps, but I knew what I was going to do was not going to involve science or math. I knew that. And again, don't listen to your guidance counselors. They used to try to convince me, be like, no, you should keep it. You never know. Which I know I said before, like, listen to your parents, but also listen to yourself. Like, I know my strengths. I knew I was not going to anything that involved those two classes, science or math. And I knew that. And they refused to listen to me, telling me, oh, you should keep it in your timetable. You never know what could happen. You might have to redo it if you want to change your mind about your major later. I said, no. I'm not in that field. I'm not in that field. I knew it. But it's the irony, because I'm actually in that field now, in my job right now. I work with numbers like there's no tomorrow. Budgets, math, every day. Honestly, does it like have to do with what I learned in grade 10 or 11? No, but still, you know what I mean? So like everything still kind of works on. That's why I'm saying, like, yes, drop classes here, there, whatever, but take it very seriously, because then grade 11, we'll go then. Grade 11, I was taking the math class, like I said. I think I took a foods class, which was so lit. 100% suggest taking that. English, I flourished at, but this is the time to lock in again on the things that's going to help you get into whatever you're doing after high school. So I was locking in on English. I was locking in on all like the anthro and the psychs and whatever type of classes. Those were the ones I was focusing on my grade point average, because those were the classes that were going to make a difference in terms of if I was getting into my program or not. And thank goodness I did, because I got in. But it's just about knowing, okay, your strengths and your weaknesses. And also grade 11, I think, is also a very important time to round it down in terms of what you're thinking about doing. And I know a lot of people say, how am I supposed to know what I'm going to do at that age? Or I get it, but like, sit down and listen to yourself. Like, I feel like if I interviewed maybe at some point like a few high schoolers, even if I didn't know them, I just talked to them, I could probably tell you like a few avenues you can end up taking. Again, it's people end up changing completely careers later in life, but it's grade 11 is important because, and also not to say that what's it called, so when you take time off, a gap year. It's not to say a gap year is not important as well, but if you are trying to avoid taking a gap year, I would suggest thinking about what your interests are in grade 11. But again, every school is different. Teachers teach differently. You're going to be surrounded by different people in every high school. And again, this is my memory, and this is just knowledge that I'm trying to share to you, because that's how I made it out. Again, I wasn't your A plus 90 average student at all on a roll every year. No way, Jose. I did get good grades in the sense of like I was recognized, I think in like grade 11 for getting a high grade in a one class or whatever. But at the end of the day, like I wasn't the overachieving, high achieving student. I really wasn't. And I knew that going into high school. My parents knew that going into high school, because again, every kid is different. I wasn't like my siblings, and my siblings weren't like me. But you have to play to your strengths and understand how pivotal these years are. And that's why I do this segment, because high school is it's honestly like it's revolutionary in terms of like how you end up later. You know what I mean? Like I went to high school with people who didn't care about classes, but you know those kids that would show up with the bag that looked like it had maybe like a banana peel at the bottom of it, a half sharpened pencil, and no eraser, and the teacher would be like, "Where's the homework?" And it's at the bottom of the bag, dusted with whatever oils or whatever. Like it just, every student is different, but those students did not graduate, and I could not tell you what they are doing to this day. So I'm telling you, high school will make or break you. And if you get in the wrong crowds, or you don't take your school seriously, grades seriously, I pray for you. But that's to say, grade 12 came around. I was a different scenario because I was going to play soccer at university, so that process happens a bit earlier than what other people would experience in terms of getting into the school that they want to get into, because I signed like early. So when I did my signing, I think that was like November of 2017, because it wasn't even January yet. So it was really early. So I already knew, but I had to work hard and get my grades up. See how everything ties together in grade 11 in order to do that signing early, in order for Carleton to recognize like, yes, we will accept you to the program because of how your grades looked in grade 11 and how hard you worked in 9 and 10. They don't obviously look at 9 and 10, but I'm seeing that work ethic that I maintained during that time really reflected into grade 11. And that's how I got into Carleton early. Who'd have thought? Like literally, who would have thought? I would have never in a million years to think that. And that one, I would have never thought I would have gotten a scholarship, which I did. Crazy. Or when I graduated in grade 12, obviously at the end of the year, I graduated on honor roll by minutes. Like by this close, I think I had like an 81, and I think the cutoff is like 80 or something like that. I made it. I barely made it, but I made it. And if that doesn't say enough, I don't know what does. And I wasn't even doing too much. I was locking in when it hand things in on time. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to ask questions when it comes to classes and grades, please. It's so I struggle with that, but it makes a difference. Ask for help, and not even in school, to your parents, get tutors. It's not embarrassing, and that'll kill you. And your grades in high school is living off of the fear of embarrassment. Again, I know it's easier said than done. I'm not in high school now, or again, you might be someone who is a bit more introverted than extroverted. I understand, but if you're super introverted or antisocial, or you just in general don't operate good in social settings or talking to strangers, I know you have someone in your life. Speak to someone and let them know that, hey, I might need some extra help. But grade 12, like I said, I graduated. I already knew I was going to Carleton. I made an honor roll. I had scholarships for my grades and for soccer, and everything turned out. So this is just, I'm a success story here. Come on. But this is just to tell you that you don't have to be the brightest and the smartest. You don't have to know everything that's going on. This is the whole point of this segment. High school is confusing. You don't need to know every move and every next step, but you have to have that mindset of like, wanting to know somewhat how to navigate yourself and see somewhat of a few paths. You don't need to have one exact path. Like some people know, like I'm going to be a doctor. I'm going to be an engineer. I'm going to be a lawyer. And not everyone has that path. And trust me, I'm still navigating myself too at 24 years old. But I think it's very important to know what, again, are your strengths, and kind of imagine yourself in like what field, in a sense. Like, I know you kind of know. I know you kind of know. And if it's sports, it's sports, but get your grades. I cannot emphasize that enough. I thought I was going to play soccer for the next 4 years in university, and I only played 2. And you know what? I didn't leave with a soccer career, but I left with a diploma.
He saved me. He came.
Amen. So, and professional players, they have real jobs. They have degrees. So, very much take this important. I know this was a lot of information and a lot of rambling, but I really just wanted to get my point across during this after school special that your grades are important. Don't think high school is not a joke. High school is a great time, and I want you to have fun with your friends and play sports and experiment and adventure and figure out yourself and try new things. But at the end of the day, you're there for one thing and one thing only, and it's to get that diploma in your hand to soon get whatever that certification, whether it's in trades again, that college diploma or that university degree, whatever it is, work towards that. Thank you so much for attending this after school special with me and watching The Art of Memories. I had a great time with this episode. I'm so happy I found the time to record today. I'm going to be consistent again. Follow me on all my socials. TikTok, Monty Anthony X. Instagram for this account is The Art of Memories or _Art of Memories. YouTube is The Art of Memories, I'm pretty sure. And Spotify is The Art of Memories. You'll find me. I'm the only one on there, original. But thank you so much. Love you, and see you next time. Toodaloo.